Good morning to all my ladies, visitors out there. Welcome to me and Sheila podcast, where we're going to be talking about real talk and real healing. But one of the subjects that we will be talking about, and it's introduce, let them talk, let them get it out. And welcome, Sheila. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
And we're going to be able to expand on the main discussion. Well, what is the main discussion? Is that why people talk in the first place? You ever heard that song? You talk too much, you worry people to death. You talk. Oh, that's not what we talk about. And some folks use gossip as a coping mechanism. Have you ever been around somebody that just always gossip? Oh, did you hear about that little girl next door? She makes me sick. That little thing is hotter than the 4th of July. That's that gossip group. And if you get involved with it, you're going to become part of it. And other talks because you grow making them uncomfortable. I mean, the worst thing it is to make me talk about something uncomfortable. You got to put me in the mindset that this is going to be agreeable within myself, that I'm comfortable to talk about it. And some folks talk because they are bored, spiritually and emotionally. Now, and recreational. And I can go there, but I'm not going to go there. But Sheila, what are your thoughts on that?
Some people talk just to be talking. They just want somebody to hear them. And I can't stand no gossipers, but they talking about you. They talking about themselves. And they need to get accountability. You know, they talk about you because it makes them feel good, basically, about themselves.
If I didn't know you, I would think that you're talking about me. But this is a discussion. So we're going to leave it like that. So if you're going, was that aimed towards me? But anyway, accountability is like cardiovascular. You got to work it out, and they don't like sweating. And I think that's one of the main things why we feel the need to defend ourselves. Well, sometimes it depends on how you grew up. When you grew up in a certain environment, you got to always prove yourself, or you're going to be laughed at, or you're going to be called at. When we say, childhood condition, be agreeable. Well, what do they mean by that? Fearing of being misunderstood. Have you ever been into that situation where you can't talk about you because people are going to always misunderstand what you're saying?
Yes.
And do you think that has anything to do with communication level?
The people,
some people you ask them where they're going, they tell you where they've been.
They don't listen for understanding.
Mm-hmm.
They hear you, but they really don't hear you. That's what I say.
And when you use that term, I can refer to that what my mother always say. Do you hear me or are you listening? Because if you just only hear me, I'm going to knock, that daylight out of you. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to get into what Sarah, they decide to control the narrative. That's what people fear. They feel people don't trust him and the narrative that they go by. So, and again, when I look at Jardine, don't call me girl, and why people feel to defend themselves, well, Sheila, what do you think?
I think some people just like to talk just to be talking. And, those people I run away from, some people want to manage what people say out their mouths like they're human resources or something. They want them to say, they tell them something and then they expect them to say something they agree with. You know what I'm saying? It's like they want you to agree with what they're saying. And if you don't, sometimes they get mad at you.
Well, but, you got to understand, their perception of you is not a reality. It only become a reality when whatever they say about you and you believe it, that's your reality. But what I'm saying is, but their opinions are not, that is not your department. It's really not. When you stop and think about it, that's not your department. The spiritual power of silence. And that's what we're going to talk about. Silent, when you be silent, it protects your peace when you don't say anything. Silence forces people to sit with their own assumption. And that could be very devastating if you ask me. Silence is a boundary. You set boundaries that I can only take this, but if you pass that boundary, I'm going to blow up. And we know people are like that. and they use silent is a strategy
Mm-hmm.
to, it's not a sign, it's not a weakness. When I sit back, it just got some people just don't talk. And you
But
don't know what's going through their mind. And
mm-hmm.
some occasion that you got to watch those that don't communicate with anyone. And so when you look at Sheila, what do you think about that?
You heard that saying, sometimes it's best to not say nothing at all if you ain't got nothing good to say.
Yep, I've heard that many times. Matter of fact, I heard that recently.
And a lot of people will sit and observe people. They observe behaviors, and they may not agree with you, or it does protect their peace sometimes, because sometimes if they say something they want to say and it's not going to be good, they just don't say it at all. So that's when you say protecting your peace. But it's a lot of times
you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Sometimes I think it's a good thing, because it's a time and place for everything. I think when
that's true.
Said, sometimes it's not your party to say anything. But I think it depends on the time and the situation of when to be silent and when just to be there, just to listen. When you deal with that in the military, when you talk to people, when you counsel people, you got to be a good listener.
That's true.
You got to be silent and let them get out what they need to get out. Sometimes, you can't interrupt. So it's a technique that you have to use at different approaches at different situations, I believe. So I do believe silence has power.
Now, I go to we're doing my military career, and especially when you got young people working up under you, and they come to you with all kind of problems, and before you even allow them to talk, you don't put up a defense. Let them let it out, because there's things that they need to let out. But if you're not an active listener, you can be that person can be misunderstood.
Exactly.
And what about reputation, Sheila, and versus assignment? What is up with that?
Your assignment won't always be popular. I mean, but it would be purposeful. You can't chase both, is what God said. So let them think what they want to think. I'm not worried about. You are. People gonna think what they want you to be.
Right.
It's crazy how that happens. People try to decide who they expect you to be.
Yeah, that is real. That's real talk. That's real talk.
But your assignment is not with them. Your assignment is with God.
Absolutely. I got to say amen on that one. And your assignment won't always be popular.
It would be purposeful, though.
It will be purposeful.
Yes.
Okay. And when you say purposely, let them leave.
Yeah, it's the purpose. I believe your assignment is the purpose that God has you here for.
I believe that also.
I think everybody has a purpose to fulfill. Some people might not know what it is, but I know what my purpose is. Some people don't know what their purpose is.
That is absolutely.
I truly believe my purpose is to serve others, help others, overcome things.
But Sheila, what you just said, people want you to believe what they believe. They want you to be able to, well, you wrong, I'm right. But when you define your own purpose, when you define your own who you are, you don't have to worry about this outside stuff. Because there are peoples out there going to talk, just agree. How many people not to give statistics, how many peoples have died innocent based upon what people talk about? And those individuals that talk about, you can find out they don't really say have a life.
Right.
I mean, since we're on the discussion, and we're going to expand the main discussion, why does department hurt so much? Well, let me tell you why. See, when you talk about abandonment wound, a band-aid wound. What does it mean? You just putting something on top of it just to cover it up. And fear of being alone. This is one of the things that a lot of people are dealing with. When you're going through crisis, when you done left your loved one and there's no one around, you feel, even though you have people around, but those around you, you don't feel comfortable being around them. And so that need to be being alone. It could be a different meaning of it. Right. And so the shock of unexpected exists. Well, let me tell you something. You can't, I mean, life is uncertain. We can expect that. Life is not guaranteed. We all know that if you've been reading your Bible. And people go through all these different things. They grieve of losing what you imagine. And so when I look at that, material things doesn't mean anything. I'm looking at, if you hold a lot of stuff inside of you, it's like cancer. It's going to eventually eat you up. And you cannot live. And how do you feel about that, Sheila?
Sometimes we grieve in something that's not even real. It's not even a person, you know. I think sometimes we put a lot of things on us that we have no control over. So that's why I say sometimes we grieve a fantasy. I call it a fantasy. If you can't control it, if it doesn't impact you personally, why are you worried about it? You know?
Right. But now, Sheila, I'm gonna have to stop you there. And when we say control, there are things that we can control, and there are certain things beyond our ability to control. But those things that we can't control, and if we allow it to control us, that's what exactly we're going to do. Either you control it or it will control you.
Right.
I'm sorry about that. I had to put that in there.
You know, every decision. Sorry.
What's that?
Sorry. Let me hang this up. Sorry for that.
That's all right.
We can't control things that's beyond our control. I know it sounds crazy the way I say it, but it's the truth. We tend to put a lot of things on us that's not even ours.
Right.
You know, within our, something that
has no bearing.
Right. Right. We try to control what other people do.
That's true.
And it bothers us if they don't do it.
Right. And you know, to tell you something, Sheila, that's a very sensitive area in families.
Right.
And I just wanted to, put that in there because I'm quite sure everybody out there listening to what you're saying, they're going to say, yep, I can relate to that.
Most people, it's all in emotional maturity too, because when people want to kind of like control what you're doing, it makes them feel good. But
that's true.
Don't do what they expect you to do, it bothers them.
They go on the offense.
But it's crazy how this works. You want me to do this, but I don't want to do it. But if I do it, you're going to feel good, like you done created some self-satisfaction for yourself. So closure is clarity, and the clarity for yourself comes from God, not from people, not from what people want you to do, but from what God wants you to do, what you call here to do.
So and for me, closure is not a conversation. That is a personal decision. And for me, you only allow things to happen to you that you allow to happen. And why chasing people never work.
Right.
Hey man, that's just like people say, man, you boy trying to chase the rainbow and you never get to the end of it.
Right.
So what I'm saying to you, you can't force someone to value you. You can't force someone to value me. I mean, only me, I feel like I'm forced to do something that I don't want to do.
Right.
And so you can't negotiate your worth. You
No,
priceless.
no, it's your worth.
Absolutely. It
Yours.
is. And you can beg someone into an alignment. You know, Sheila, I'm so glad that we're talking about this subject because this is the things that even these small things that we're talking about, you bringing awareness to being silent. It can be good and it
Mm-hmm.
can be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I say you can't beg someone into an alignment, and what do you think about that, Sheila?
When you have the word beg to me, I think beg depends on the situation, really.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
If it's something harmful, that's going to take place to the person or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to beg somebody, please don't get into that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a time and a place and an approach for everything.
Agree.
If you're the type of person you got begging hanging over your head all the time, and somebody trying to rap or whatever, I'm like,
Right.
oh, put away, you know, you know, it really isn't something that's what I call it, genuine.
Now, Sheila, if I walk up you for an example, every time I see you, hey Sheila, you think you can let the old boy have $10, $15? And every time you see me, I'm always begging. Now, what would you say to me personally, not on social media? Every time I look up, Sheila, can I get 20? What would you say? Now
Mm.
you're a child of God. Now don't let the devil get in you now.
You don't want to know what I'll say, but the nice part of it, I say, do I look like I'm your Virginia National Bank?
I've heard that before. Did like money grow on trees? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
And
What
I'll
other
have
thing?
my hand on my hip when I see it.
Right. And one of the things that there was a difference between me growing up and me asking my dad for some money and asking my mother for money. If hey dad, you think I can get 20? And he'll look at me and say, yeah, you can get 20. How would you want 2 10s? Huh? 4 5s? Or do you want just 120? That 120, what you think that may mean? He rolled his fist around like this. You want 20? How you want them? 2 10s? So again, that's what I would not call silent speaking. That's sending a message.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, I got to be honest with you. See, every exist is not portrayed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it graduates.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do I mean by that? Does it when it graduates? Now, again, let's talk about continue this discussion. The dangers of falling in love with potential candidates. Oh, let's not talk about that. No, indeed. Potential is a projection. Potential is a projection. I see this, boy. I see this fine boy. I mean, I see us got a future, but you know what? That boy got more. Well, anyway, it's not a person.
Got baggage.
That boy got a lot of baggage. No, we using this example now.
Okay.
Don't. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So that's what we coming at each other. Okay. But
I'm not talking about you, Clay.
you can build a relationship on imagination. Do you believe that?
I do. People fantasize about people, and it's something that's not going to never happen.
Right. I got you.
Like, say, for example, a movie star, or kids grew up and I want to be in. They fantasize to the point where they think they're with this person. Sometimes it's a mental thing.
Right. And when they say love potential lead to a disappointment, this potential scumbag that you had out there, you think this scumbag is a good future. So now you found out this is a dud that you got. I'm not gonna go there. I'm just giving you some examples. Ooh, this boy, hey mom, I found the most finest thing in my life. Ooh, that boy looks so good. And I think we got a future together. And your mom look at you and say, girl, look, you losing your damn mind. That boy ain't nothing but trouble. Look at him. He's nasty, he's dirty. So they're going to put their silent thing in there. But again, Sheila, what do you think about that dating deal?
My dad used to always say, all that glitter ain't gold.
That's true. Absolutely.
Tell my brother that all the time. And you can fantasize about, when you're in high school, football players and I call them the seasoned dogs. But
Wait, wait. You call it season what?
seasoned dogs.
Okay. Well, I mean,
They
that's not a
play
good way
every
of this.
sport.
All right. All right. I don't
But
know why
people, the girls, you get in the bathroom, you hear them talking, they fantasizing, oh, I want to go out with him. He gonna ask me out on a date. You
right.
just fantasizing all this stuff in your mind. Don't even know who you are.
Well, that's true. But if because right now you're hitting home. If we can get off that subject, I'm very sensitive to that subject. But let's move on, Sheila. As we were saying,
You, Clayton.
let's move on, Sheila.
So what do
About
you
this,
think? I mean, what do you think about, promises and patterns and
look,
behaviors and words and
Sheila, when I was young, we used to have these things they call social little dance for kids.
mhm,
And you start claiming a girlfriend, you ain't never talked to her. And then all of a sudden, you fall in love. You 9 years old. Oh, let me see, where's got those Cracker Jack thing? Got them fake rings in it.
little ring,
Yeah. Now we're gonna get married. You just got in high school.
bubblegum ring.
Right. That's exactly. So I mean, when you're young, you look for that potential even more. But as you grow, you understand that everything look real is not real. And so you got a lot of things, people out here promise you the world. But the minute you get with them, you find out that, you know what? You don't have a pot to, do one of those deals in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what about the pattern by telling the truth, Sheila? I mean, what's up with that?
Telling
People,
the truth.
you
Well,
know,
you
when
can kind of read body language, or
you can.
some people just don't know. Some people are so naive that they believe anything somebody tell them.
You're
But
right.
if you don't really study that person ways and habits and things like that, because some people can sell you fried ice cream on the beach. They can, they can sell you sand on the beach.
You know,
Like,
Eskimo. What is that thing about an Eskimo trying to sell you fur? Okay,
sell you
yeah,
some
you're
ice.
right. Because you like you say, Sheila, people fall for anything.
Mhm.
I stand up for me as I've gotten older. I stand up for what I believe in because I used to fall for a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff, just like you say, it can be real and most time it be an imaginary.
Right.
And so, and just like say, you fantasize over something that will never happen,
Right.
but you don't program that in your head, in your mind that's what's up.
But that's a problem that can be very dangerous. It can be like fatal attraction or something. You
Yep.
seen that movie Fatal Attraction?
Mhm.
The woman was so in love with this guy, and she tried to kill him. She
Right,
just,
right.
she
But
wouldn't leave him alone, and she didn't take no for an answer. So some people's behaviors or patterns are very scary.
and what do you think? What do you think? Your personal opinion. What do you think that really came from, Sheila? Is it because being exposed or the environment? Why do people flip out like that?
I don't know. Sometimes they're just socially awkward. I don't know. I think it's a mental thing myself, to tell you the truth. I don't know where it comes from. But I know if somebody didn't want me and I didn't want to talk to them, I won't be chasing them.
You're right. But if that person gets
people got to understand no means no in everything, not just, and somebody liking you, but no means no.
So, I mean, from what I'm hearing, and I'm quite sure, being in the military, there has been peoples out there that you didn't care, and you look at them as being a friend, and you really, that second sense set in. They looking for more than I'm really offer, and I just only see you one way. But if they see you talking to someone, they get jealous without you even knowing it. that
That's
comes
happened a
in.
lot of times. And actually, they weren't really my friends. Some of them were my coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when sometimes you spend more time on the job than you do at home in the
Right.
military. So
Mm-hmm.
the military, the people you work with, it's like your family. But sometimes, you know, you get approached unintentionally, and it's like, no, it's not like that, you know.
You're
And
right.
some people can't accept that, and I've had that happen. And
You know.
it's kind of scary when they can't accept it though, because you can have somebody just spying on you, you know, and people don't know how to um, take no as an answer. But if someone shows you that behavior, like they don't accept what you're saying, that's kind of very scary to me. But I believe their actions the first time, you know.
Uh, I don't want to bring this up, but I know some people, they'll meet a girl, very impressive. She wants to go out to go eat. He's not looking at her. He's looking at what she's ordering. And then, and the waitress ask you, hey, you want to eat? Oh, I'm not even hungry. Now you're hungry as hell. You looking at her bill. You already know from that first time you dealing with a cheap man. He will not spend money on you if he. Let's go to the restaurant. He looking like he's mad, looking like Herman the monster. Can I help y'all? Bring me some water.
When he got a hole in his pocket.
But we're not getting into that because if certain people hear me say that, they know I'm talking about it. Well, again, his thing is that though, you ladies, y'all know how to read men. It's like men think they know how to read you. And so, but it's one thing I can tell you, y'all do have the upper hand on the man. Because when a man tell you first time he meets you, he just met you in the bar. Hey girl, I want to marry you. Now you know that's a red flag. And if that girl say to him, oh, that'd be nice. I mean, to me, that's desperation. I don't care if you meet somebody and know them for 6 months. You don't really know them.
Right. But
You
you
know,
know what, Clayton?
mm,
My thing is being a female.
mm-hmm.
You want to meet somebody in the bar, and that's where they're gonna leave you at, in that bar. You think you're gonna have
Okay.
a relationship? You go to the
No,
bar.
I feel what you're saying. I think a lot of women. I mean, you know, if you just an example, if I go out and me as a man, I go out and I meet a dancer or a stripper. Now I met her in the club. She was dancing when I met her. Do you think she's so used to receiving that money? Do you think she would ever get away from it? She can, but the average thing, she still have a dancer mentality of receiving money.
Right.
So I'm getting what I brought myself into.
You already
So,
knew how she was, and this is where I've seen a lot of people. You know, they think they try to change a person,
yep.
and that person can't change. If that person only can change if they want to change. But
Right.
sometimes it's a habitual, you know, thing that people try to change a person when they with them, and then you know the arguments, fighting, and stuff like that comes along, and they know they weren't in sync.
Well,
You know,
you know, I can agree. I can
the
agree with
values
that
are different.
because I know I'm not trying to, bring my past, but my mother tried to assassinate me several times. I mean, and look, long ride the king, still here. And but I will say this: tough love is good love.
Oh yeah,
Did I deserve it? At that time, I thought the girl just hated me. But when somebody beating on you, you don't think they don't love you. That's my mindset, and not realizing that was part of learning the word discipline, the word respect. And I will say this: Sarah didn't have to talk. All she had to do is look at you, and you think she done forgot about it until you into one of your deepest sleep 2 in the morning, all of a sudden she come in there and go off on you, and you trying to get things right. You up there blocking shit. But again, we talking about, let's talk about these kind of things, the cause and the effect. You know, the whys and the why not. And to me, Sheila, this is a very, very good selling. And to me, I mean, let's talk about the myth of closing, Sheila. What sometimes grieving is a fantasy.
Mm-hmm. It's sometimes grieving is real, but sometimes I think you grieve for things that aren't real.
Yeah,
you make things be over when it's not over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how it's hard to explain it, but in your mind,
right,
you're thinking the worst.
Right. And when you condition your mind, most times people worry because of things that may not never happen.
Right.
And they
but
put
what that does to you, it puts so much pressure and stress on you.
That's true.
You know, that's why I say, I mean, if it is, you know, but sometimes we overthink things.
We do. And sometimes I find myself doing that also.
Mm-hmm.
I overthink things.
I think we all do that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't let that take full, total control over you in your actions.
And that's true. That is absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
And the myth of closing is, and on that last one, what you said, talk about that, this myth of closure that we talked about on that last segment 2.
On segment 2.
Wait a minute. You know what? I have misarranged.
Yes, I know you have. And but we're on the last people. Well, you know, you're like, if someone shows you they're inconsistent,
mm-hmm.
you got to believe them for the first time, right?
Well, you should. I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to always work, but you should, without saying it. But I think that when somebody tell you something, you got to process it first.
But if they tell you another thing, and you might be like, he told me this the first time, and and it didn't jive. The second time he's saying something else. I'm like,
Yeah, that's true.
Think about, they say, believe him the first time, because now you got a report card, right?
Right.
To say that sucker got a D the first time, and he sure getting an F this time.
Hey, that's the way we've been trained, girl. I can't sit up here and tell you everything right quick because I'm afraid it might get one of those things knocked out of me. You know what I mean?
But we're on, what do you think about if someone shows you they're inconsistent? What would you think? I mean, we on the last segment now.
All right. Now, when I look at that, what does it require? You mean for like self-abandonment and stuff like that? Well, let me put it to you this way, Sheila. The patterns of truth. That's all I got to say. When someone show you they're inconsistent, believe them the first time. I don't have to believe what you're saying. Hey, Clayton, I love you. I can't get enough of you. Girl, get out of my face with that BS. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All right. Why should we rewrite people's resume? We want to avoid loneliness. That's why. And another thing, we want to avoid starting over. Starting all over again. Oh, okay. You remember that song, Starting All Over Again? Mm-hmm. It got to be rough. We want to avoid admitting we misjudge someone. Misjudging someone is a deadly weapon because your perception of me is not a reality. It's your reality. You judge me based on how you feel. It's not about how I feel. It's about me. If I believe it, then I become part of it.
That's why they say stop rewriting people's resume, Clayton.
Okay.
You trying to write the script like it fits you.
True. It's all about me, myself, and I.
Yeah, it's a script that you want this person to be.
That's true. That is
You know,
true.
so when you talk about start rewriting the resume, let them be who they are. This is this whole segment about let them be. Stop trying to make somebody be somebody they're not.
That's
If they
true.
want to make a choice and live by that choice, that's their decision. Only
I
thing, and I say this speaking with couples, in dating, we always trying to write somebody's resume
mhm.
like, oh, we want them to do this, this,
Right.
this, 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 this. Um, I don't know why people do that, but I think people need to be more transparent and honest about themselves, and they wouldn't have to do things like that. It is what it is.
Yeah, but you got some people just like to be dominant. They think they whatever they say, what do as I say, not as I do. And I want you to believe in me because I don't think you know any better. And sometimes they put this wall up, and then they look at your education, or look at your communication. They
Mm,
evaluate you,
mm.
and
That's one
so
thing my daughter said, Clayton.
mm,
She was in an area where is what um men like 3 to 1 women or whatever.
yep,
First thing they ask, oh, what do you do? Then they find out what she does. Guess what? Oh,
yeah, right,
no,
right.
you too much. You bougie. You that. No, she's educated and she's not dependent on you. So people
I-
want you to be. Sometimes men want to be um in a relationship with a woman who always wants or needs them. We ain't
mhm,
like that today. This ain't 1950s, 60s. We can have another conversation about that.
right.
Women are more educated. We're more able to, we like it. Okay, we don't. All right, see ya. Hasta la vista. People always try to write your resume on what they want you to be. And um, you can love a person without fixing them.
Well,
If
that's
you love
true.
a person, you have to take them for who they are because you know who they are. You can't try to change a person.
Oh, cause
Everybody is not perfect. If I have these things about me and somebody else has other things about them, I'm like, mm, mm,
mhm,
okay, I like all this about you, but some
right,
people are so picky that they can't even work with that.
right.
And nobody's perfect. What I'm saying, but you have to love people sometimes without fixing them.
I totally agree with that, and it just got some people, just like I say, they're not bad people, but they got bad ways, and their ways do not conform with your ways.
Right.
And
The
so
values.
when they don't match up, it's gonna always be conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
So when they line up, I mean, everything is not perfect. I mean, not, but when you got more bad than good,
Right.
there's an issue.
Right.
And so, Sheila, I'm saying this as a man. We are much more closed-minded. We are much more, even though a woman can tell us something that may benefit us and care about it, but we are programmed. I'm just talking about black men.
Mm-hmm.
We are very sensitive. We keep everything inside. And sometimes they give you that silent treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Either they don't feel like they done had enough of it, and you got to look way back the origin of where this started at. A lot of times it started right at home.
But a lot of times, and that's what we learned being in the military. Um, I can tell Johnny over here one thing, and I can tell Troy the same thing. He's gonna look at it differently from what Johnny.
Right. Absolutely.
And it's because they're from different backgrounds.
There you go.
But me
Absolutely.
as a manager, I had to understand my approach with Johnny versus Troy.
Mm-hmm.
So you can love people without fixing them, but you have to understand where they come from too.
That's true.
They don't mean just because, oh, well, we ain't grow up like that, so I don't like that. You can't do that.
Right.
And that's where a lot of people go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that with people. You have to at least try to listen to their story. Everybody has a story. Some are better than others. You don't know what shoes I didn't walk in. You could judge me just by
Right.
looking at me, but do you understand the the trail that I walked?
Right. But
You
Sheila, I
know,
gotta say
a
this
lot of
to you.
people judge people by looking at them from the outside,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's true.
you can support people without carrying them. You can,
Well,
so I can support people from afar, and they don't even know it.
right. I got you.
I can support them without parenting them. You know,
Well,
a helicopter parent.
you
You
know,
know,
based upon what you say, have you ever worked in the school system?
I was a mentor in the school for years.
Okay. So you talking more of a mentor that you can probably reach to a lot of kids because you know that both each kid was not raised in the same environment.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to weigh and decide what method you're going to use for each kid.
A different approach, especially
And that's a key.
if they're trouble, you know, they're home, or what about what's going on in their home? You got to
Mhm.
you got to be open minded. You can't think you're gonna be in a classroom in front of 20 kids and say, "Okay, do this." All them kids not going to be up at the same level.
That's true.
All of
Absolutely.
them don't get to come from the same background, same areas, same
Mhm.
opportunities.
That's
Some
true.
have to find libraries. Some don't have computers at home.
Uh,
So
So there's a lot of factors that's
it's
involved.
a lot of factors that plays into when you're dealing with everybody.
You know, and so I mean, why would if you don't have a sound mind of what's going on, it's very easy for you to look to the other side, the negative side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving you an example. I'm not trying to bring this in. People perception. When we're talking about racism, we always going to be looked at as the left. But when you think about us and all minority people, their perception of us is not a reality. It's that their reality. But if we as minority believe whatever they're thinking about us or whatever they're saying about, if we believe whatever they're saying is true, that's what we're gonna fall short in. So
Exactly.
these kind of conversations is imperative for me because
Mm-hmm.
I can get very emotional because I can put this together and based upon my background, my experience. But I'm glad that you and I is able to talk about this. Not only we talking for those who are able, we talking for those who are unable to speak up for themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
so when we can bring it out and people can look at, oh man, you know what? That's real talk. I
Mm-hmm.
need that kind of healing.
Yeah, because and just from my own experience as
Mm-hmm.
a black, I had strikes against me. First of all, I was black. I
Yep.
was
Yep.
female. I was in a manager position. Oh, people hate that
Oh
sometimes.
yeah,
You
no
know,
doubt.
so I outsmarted people.
Mm-hmm.
I killed people with my knowledge. And I always say, educate yourself. The more you educate yourself, the less
You
of a,
depend on someone else.
yes, dealing
That's
with
real.
kindness and with knowledge.
So, but you know what, Sheila? It is. I've been having people call me and say, y'all gotta be talking about some real talk, but it's about real healing. It's
Mm-hmm.
for you not to go out there and jump in the lake. If we trying to tell you there are snakes in the ditch, and we trying to tell you don't go into that ditch, and you decide that you want to go in, that's on you. But we have given you the information to let you know what the dangers are and how we can avoid it and how we can overcome this. And I love this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes silence is a deadly disease, but sometimes it's a time to do this, and there's a time to do that.
Right.
So would you like to add anything else in there? And we want you, our viewers out there, to please join us. Hit the notification button. You like and dislike. And again, if you want to come on to our show, and all you got to do is, my email address is rlinecaj@gmail.com. And just write us a note. And like I said, if you want to come on, and we can discuss that later on. But Sheila, this has been a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And to all the audience, the viewers out there, if you learn something, if you can use it, use it. If you can't use it, just discard it. But there's someone out there want to listen to this kind of conversation, and it can help you grow in many ways.
Yes.
And always help you grow these kind of conversations.
Mhm.
So, Sheila, you want to say anything before we?
One last word I would say to the people: do some reflection on yourself, and stop editing people like you're applying for them to be something that they're not.
Right. Hold on, Sheila. You know what? I know you don't hear it this year. Your mom wants you to see this boy. You can't stand this rascal. Okay. They trying to make you date somebody you can't even stand. We all go through this thing that people want you to do things that is not within you to do. And if your mind, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve it. You cannot allow someone to manipulate your mind. Learn what is right, what is wrong. And that all comes from morals and values of how you was raised.
Right. But you normally know. Sometimes the parent don't know, but you know more than they know.
that is true.
You know when something's not right with that person.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see it, you hear about it. You know, you in that environment different from them. The parents are like, "Oh, Johnny boy." You know, my grandma used to say, "Oh, such and such, he really liking you." I said, "Well,
yep."
I ain't studying that sucker.
You know what? Hold on. I had heard that in 30 years. I ain't stood. What does that mean in real language? I ain't stood in that rascal.
I ain't worried nothing about him. He just, he ain't on my mind.
Right. But girl, he is a nice boy.
I don't care.
I mean, and long when she see him,
not my type.
Okay, I got you. All right. I'm rolling up on you. But look, to all the audience out there, it's been a pleasure, well as a privilege. And I hope you'll be able to tune in. I hope you'll be able to share this. And we're going to be coming live very soon. Mm-hmm. And well, you can put your inputs, discuss, and we're about real talk and healing. So it's been a pleasure, well as a privilege. May God bless you. Until next time, we meet again. Adios, Sheila. Been a pleasure.
All right.